Good morning. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. I hope everybody is having a good start to their day, whatever time it is. I think it's about 11 a.m. and it is Sunday here, Sunday, December 4th. And so we kind of had a little slower start this morning. I stayed up a little later last night. I was really enjoying knitting on my dusty, what is it called? Pixie dust blanket. I finished my first color, and I'm going to tell you about that in a little bit. But before I do that, let's open Advents for this morning. So I have opened the bag, but I haven't peeked. This is the Very Fun Yarn one, which I know this one, but and I can't get my little note out. So the color today is called Ocean Mist. It is this really kind of a seafoam green kind of, but it's variegated if you look, or not variegated, tonal if you look at it close. And a little note for today says, hot tea or coffee, cider and broth are all delicious ways to feel warm. But did you know that when you add alcohol to the mix, you'll feel warm at first as blood rushes to the surface of your skin, which is why your cheeks look so rosy after a few sips. But then alcohol prevents your blood vessels from constricting and you'll actually begin losing body heat. On extra cold days, stick with tea, coffee, or cider to prevent this from happening. So, of course, I am not here to tell you what to drink. If you are having something fun and you want to have a little alcohol, that's totally your choice. I am not advocating either way. I'm simply sharing the facts that alcohol has makes you feel warmer, but then actually it does the opposite effect. So tea, coffee, and broth or hot cider, hot cocoa are all really great options to help you stay warmer longer. And you will have seen that we at our house are big fans of Plum Deluxe tea out west in the United States. I think they're located in Oregon. But we love their teas. We have a whole drawer of their teas. Maybe some morning I'll show you my little pull-out drawer where I pick what I'd like to drink. So anyway, it's a tea day, definitely here. It's getting a little bit warmer as in like up into like the 30-degree Fahrenheit area. But yesterday it was like 10 degrees with like minus 11 with the wind chill. So we are warming up in Minnesota today. Anyway, on to Lavender Loon. Feels like there's something extra in today's. Aha! Ooh, there is a little holiday punch shower steamer. This smells really good. Cranberry fizz, Merlot wine, sweet orange. Oop, can't see that there. Oop, and I dropped it. That smells yummy. And the color is called Moonwalk. Ooh, so still lots of layers, but we're getting into a little bit brighter colors. So beautiful. So on that note, let me pull out my pixie dust blanket that I'm working on with my Advents. Let's hope, oh yeah. So last night I did finish my first color, as I alluded to when I first started talking this morning. So here you can see color number 1. See how it's looking with the pattern? It's going to be so beautiful. Well, so I did math. Now, if anybody doesn't know this, maybe I've had a lot of new subscribers recently and people who don't know me as well personally. So I used to be, I'm a trained English teacher, a secondary English teacher, grades 6 through 12. So I'm okay with math, but I kind of do fit the stereotype to some degree in that math is not my strong point. However, basic math, I'm usually pretty good at. I mean, you weigh your yarn, you do your thing. Anyway, the scale obviously lied, or I was getting so relaxed that my knitting loosened up and I went through more yarn. I don't know what the scoop was, but I thought I had enough to do 5 repeats, 5 of the 4-row repeats, and I got to the end and I was about 60 stitches short and I lost at Yarn Chicken. So here's the last row. And I stopped here, so I had like this much that I didn't have enough yarn of. But being that I'm not like really obsessed about how the colors fall in and it's that little bit. And the second day's yarn was so close to the first, here's the second day's yarn, that I just switched the yarn 60 stitches early. So no big deal. I'm not really going to stress about it. I just wanted to use up all the yarn. I didn't want to have like a gram or two left. So yeah, so I'm excited to knit on this today. So that's that. So we're going to put that one in. And then I haven't wound, this is yesterday's and then today's. So those are going to be so beautiful. I did contemplate putting in between each color some gray undyed yak, but then I just decided, nah, that seems too planned, and I want this to be very relaxing and not quite so planned. Just kind of go with the surprise of whatever the color is that comes next. So I'm just going to go with that. So I hope to wind those up and I'll keep going. I did also crochet a little bit on my Advent countdown from Berry Fun Yarns last night while I was editing the Vlogmas from yesterday. However, I have not yet I got about 4 more days before I can show it to you. So I think that, I was going to tell you one more thing. This morning as a family, I mentioned that we do cook a lot in our house because we have a lot of food sensitivities. So like I'm allergic to gluten and I'm sensitive to dairy. I have issues with corn off and on. So we bake and we cook pretty much everything ourselves. We don't go out to eat a lot. We have a few restaurants that are our favorites. So when I get recipes, I've tried getting a whole cookbook and then then I use 4 recipes out of it. So instead I tend to use online resources and I print them out. I modify everything because sometimes it's gluten-free but it's not vegan, so I have to modify it for my son. So I print everything out, and then this is what I was doing this morning. I don't know if I took any video of it, but I was organizing recipes. So you see this big, huge binder. It is all of our recipes, so you can see. And I have them organized by breakfast, bread, snacks, main dishes. I have an international section because we like to do a lot of curries or Asian kind of food or Mexican, Spanish kind of food. So when we try something new, then I put that in there if it's a little more international. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you because sometimes, I don't know about you, but I feel like if I cook a recipe and we really love it, but if I forget to file it somewhere, then when I have to plan menus again next time, I'm like, well, I don't know what to make, or I don't remember what that recipe was. And I do have a Pinterest account, which I can link below. You can find me on Pinterest and some of the things I've pinned. But it's just easier. I don't know, maybe I'm too old, but it's just easier when it's printed out. Also, being in the country, a lot of times we lose our internet because it's just not super reliable. It gets too windy. We live on the top of a hill, so we have all kinds of issues that way. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. So I have a favorites binder of our favorite recipes. And then desserts, we do not eat that many desserts, but somehow we have a lot of dessert recipes. So I do have a favorite desserts one that is separate. And then just last year I started this because I would print out recipes that I wanted to try, but I never actually did anything with. So I started a recipes to try binder. I put that upside down. So that if I was the idea was that once a week I would go to this binder, pick something out of it, and we'd try it. If it was good enough to make it into the favorites binder, I'd move it, and if not, I'd put it in the recycling. So that's sort of an idea if you're looking for a way to make your menu planning or cooking a little bit easier to try. So anyway, yes, my little ramblings about recipes. The rest of the day is going to be pretty chill, I think, here. I kind of tried to do more of my cleaning yesterday. I do have to do some school planning, and I would really like to organize a pile of dye recipes that I have left. I'm kind of a messy when I do my dyeing. I'm kind of jot notes down, and if I don't put them into make sense recipes very quickly, then I forget how I made a color. So I need to do that. and do a little school planning. But then the rest of the day I just have like laundry to move in and out of the laundry machine and fold, and then I'm gonna knit and I'm gonna crochet, and it's gonna be fabulous. So I don't know how much interesting content we'll have today, but I bet you'll see a lot of me knitting and crocheting with cats laying around me. So wherever you are, have a good rest of the day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.